Ladies and gentlemen, today I am going to talk about a Latin term in international law, opinio juris sive necessitas. I will simply refer it to as opinio juris. Now, many of you must be thinking that what kind of hard and obscure term is this? But do not worry. After listening to this episode, the meaning of this term will be crystal clear and you will be able to explain it to others. I know that law can be a hard subject and understanding these Latin terms can be even harder sometimes. But no worries, I am here to make things simple. Now, before moving further, I just have a small request to make that please do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me and it will help me immensely. So, what is the literal meaning of this term? Opinio juris. It means an opinion of law. It is nothing but a belief in the obligatory nature of a conduct or a practice. And in order to understand the meaning of opinio juris properly, we first need to understand the meaning of the term custom. Custom is one of the many sources of international law, like treaties, judicial decisions, juristic writings, etc. Custom means a long established and commonly adopted practice that has acquired the force of law, something that is not a law but still it is equated with law. I'll explain this with the help of an example. A good example is that of diplomatic immunity. Suppose there is a building in your city by the name of International Political Center. In that building, diplomats from all over the world come and they discuss important global issues. Now, there is an unwritten rule in that building that no diplomat will ever be arrested or prosecuted by the police or the local authorities. And if this practice or conduct of not arresting the diplomats is followed consistently for a long period of time, and if it is not opposed by the others, then it will become a custom in international law. It will be recognized as a custom in the domain of international law. Custom as well as opinio juris also find mention in Article 38, Clause 1, Subclause B of the ICJ statute that states that international courts must apply custom in their decisions wherever it is a general practice accepted as law. And because of this Article 38, custom is generally recognized as a valid source of international law. There are three types of custom that we need to know about: general, regional, and local. General customs are followed in most of the places and jurisdictions. Regional customs are followed in a particular region. For example, North America may have its own regional customs that may be distinct from South America or Asia, whereas local custom have limited influence in a geographical area. India, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka may have a local custom that may not be followed anywhere else. Basically, the existence of a custom has to be deduced from the practice and behavior of states, and such custom becomes part of international law when it is a state practice and opinio juris. You can simply understand it as state practice plus opinio juris equals to new customary rule of international law. In order to make things even simpler, I'll tell you 4 steps that the courts generally follow in order to understand the validity of a custom. The first step involves establishing existence of usage of a practice or conduct. Basically, the practice or conduct in question must be actually followed. It must not be an old practice that is not followed now. It must not be a practice that was followed 50 years ago, but today it is scarcely followed. It must be an active practice or conduct that we are talking about. The second step involves existence of state practice. So what is the meaning of this term? State practice. State practice simply means how states behave in reality, and the evidence of state practice can be found in the administrative acts, official publications, or the statements of the government leaders, or by any other governmental act of the state. Now, if the first two steps are satisfied, then the courts come to step number 3, that is to ascertain the presence of opinio juris. If the state has made that practice or conduct legally obligatory, or if they have codified it, or if they have made it a legal right, then that conduct or practice can be said to satisfy the ingredients of opinio juris. Basically, there should not be just lip service by the states. They should actually make it legally obligatory or mandatory. So, if all these steps are satisfied, that is, actual existence of usage of conduct or practice, existence of state practice, and existence of opinio juris, then the custom becomes a valid custom in international law, and the courts will apply that custom in deciding the matter accordingly. This is how you are supposed to understand the meaning of opinio juris. And now it may seem like a very simple term, but think about the courts. When a matter actually comes before the courts that involves the question of opinio juris, then the courts have a very hard time in ascertaining its presence. This is because in the traditional areas of law, it is very difficult to establish a custom, as it has to be done through series of usages. Entire history has to be seen. Lot of documents have to be studied. Conflicting claims are made by different countries. And in this entire fog of documents, history, and conflicting claims, the job of the courts is to see the perception of the majority of the states, whether opinio juris is present in the majority of the states or not. If it is present, then that custom is recognized in international law, otherwise not. There are many cases as well in international law that have discussed the concept of opinio juris in great detail, such as the Lotus case, North Sea continental shelf cases, Nicaragua versus United States, Germany versus Italy, and asylum case of Peru versus Colombia. There are many other cases as well. So I hope you found this episode to be useful, and if you have any other Latin terms in mind whose meaning you are not able to understand, then please drop a message and I'll try to make a show on them. Thank you and see you next time.